All right, Jamie. So the World Championships are over. What do you think of the sprint racers going into London?
Good question. I think it's, well, hopefully we've got the position. I think that's one thing we need to clarify first of all. I mean, known to us, we believe we've got one sprint spot, so that leaves then the question of who fulfills that spot. So the deadline for nomination is June 15th. So I plan on having a trial the first week of June. To be honest, I think it's between three guys at the moment: Michael, Jimmy, and Kevin. Gideon's still on the long team though, so he's kind of going through a process at home right now, you know, and he might pop up, so we'll see. So I'll probably, I mean, I've already started looking at the data and collecting and going over the times for the last 2 years, looking at all the riders' progressions and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a tough call. So you know, I'll just present all the information to the panel and, you know, take their advice and stuff. So who knows really at the moment. It's been such a long season and it's been quite taxing on the riders, you know, so we can't look too negatively at some of their performances here, even though Michael's was good. That actually shows that actually was really good what he did here, given off the workload he's had this season, so going to all the World Cups and stuff. So I was actually pretty proud of the way he rode. I think Michael has fatigued pretty well over the season. I mean, sorry, Kevin has fatigued well over the season. So, you know, looking at his numbers coming into the event, he wasn't looking as sharp as he was a few months ago. So, you know, it's, again, he's in the same position. You know, he's had to do, I think Kevin's done every single World Cup. So, you know, the guys that are performing here and winning those medals, you know, they've done one World Cup and then had months and months of training. So, you know, you've got to take perspective and look at it, you know, from a wide angle, and I think they've all done well, and they've definitely got a lot of growth in them as well. But who to pick for that one spot, we'll see.
What about internationally? I mean, you've got to look at some of the best sprint riders in the world, and you got to see, you know, you saw them up close for 5 days.
Yeah.
What are your impressions?
It was impressive. It really was. And I mean, there was plenty of people commenting on the standard here, and I think you generally see that just coming. You know, the Worlds before the Olympics. You know, I mean, everyone anyone is here who wants, obviously, is challenging for a position in London or for their nation. I mean, and it's even more tough this year, given that the Olympics you only get one start spot in the sprint and one start spot in the keirin. So, you know, the competition is immense within the teams. You know, Germany, for instance, probably got 5 or 6 decent sprinters that we know of, and I know there's more back home. GB's got the same problem. France has got the same problem. So, you know, I wouldn't want to be a lot of those, you know, national governing bodies right now and trying to determine who fills those shoes or spots. So, standard was great. You know, the competition was great. A lot of the rides went to 3 rides, which just shows you how close it was. I mean, obviously Gregory Borge did look fantastic. You know, I think he stood out above everyone this whole week. Phenomenal. So he's definitely going to be, you know, obviously one of the favourites going to London. Chris, I know, you know, he'll obviously be going forward, and Jason Kenny for GB. Which one of those gets picked, I don't know, and I know the management don't know yet either. So, but for my guys, hopefully, you know, one of them can go forward, and it'll be an experience. You know, and there's very few people that go to their first Olympics and actually perform extremely well. So you look at it as being, you know, an opportunity to experience the event and kind of just, you know, get rid of any issues, anxiety, and all. You know, they can realise that it's not such a big deal, you know, and they can get used to it. So then next time round they can, you know, focus on their performance.
In your previous answer, you were talking about how some of the American riders have had to perform at a very high level throughout the entire season, and they may be fighting a little bit of fatigue.
Yeah.
With you know, your trials coming in June,
yeah.
And they're having to maintain a certain level. How do you guard against that fatiguing again?
Well, basically, I'm going to take them back, so to speak. So straight off when we get home, I'm going to put them on the road for a few weeks, and that's just a little bit of mental freshness, if nothing else. try and build up a bit more of a foundation, bring back in some general fitness, which will help them cope with the volume of work they're going to be going forward. So hopefully they'll be stimulated again. And again, it's, you look at these as stepping stones, one step at a time. They got to the World Championships. Okay, the next step is going to be the Olympics. So, in terms of mental focus, it's a relatively easy one in a sense that you've just got one goal coming up. So hopefully they'll have a lot of drive going forward, a lot of motivation. They'll be showing up at training, giving it 100%. And I have no doubt. I mean, we've got a good block now between now and the Olympics. Several months. So that's a good time frame to build and hopefully get them to perform a bit better.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.